Good day. On behalf of my co-authors, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the organizers for being part of this Research Congress 2022. We are here to share the findings of our study entitled The LSU Libraries Lesson Learned and Future Direction Librarians Experiences and Challenges in Providing Information Literacy During Pandemic. The onset of COVID-19 brought many educational institutions paralyzed as they continue to struggle in discovering ways to effectively deliver instruction to their students. In the same manner, academic libraries were not spared as they adapt persistently to the daunting task of keeping relevant in this era, where many professionals try to be more agile and innovate their services. One of the library services that are greatly affected by this pandemic is the delivery of library instruction. From face-to-face instruction, libraries quickly explored various educational technology tools, plan online library instruction, and then eventually train fellow librarians on how they can efficiently provide library instruction on an online setup. The libraries provided freshman students with online library instruction via their GEPCOMM classes. Other undergraduate and graduate students who seek library instruction may sign up in the library research LibRes General or register in the Information Literacy IL bucket offered by the libraries. Taking into consideration the time and preparation to learn and adjust to an online setup, the LSU librarians were able to manage to deliver instruction to the community based on the evaluation given by the students after each library session. However, even after almost 2 years of this online library instruction, many librarians still share anecdotes and experiences of the challenges and opportunities that they face while teaching library instruction. The purpose of our study, 1, is to analyze the key issues and challenges that arose at the development of the LibRes course, specifically in LibRes-GEPCOMM during the pandemic. And second, to explore strategies for enhancing students' learning and engagement, including collaboration with faculty in the transition in the new normal class instruction. Our study concentrates on the shared experiences of the LSU librarians in the development of the LibRes course in the LibRes-GEPCOMM, including the challenges and opportunities they face during the delivery of online library instruction in both asynchronous and synchronous classes. And as for the methodology, our study focus group discussion was used, and according to UNICEF, focus group discussion is a method for collecting qualitative data that gathers community individuals together to discuss a specific topic. For this paper, open-ended questions were prepared to stimulate the discussion and capture the raw response of the participants and document their shared experiences on the issues and challenges they have encountered in redesigning the course on information literacy, specifically in the development of LibRes fitted for remote learning due to the pandemic. Participants were sent an informed consent email, which served as a confirmation of their participation in the focus group discussion. To cautiously secure the safety of all participants in the focus group discussion, the session was made offsite using Zoom as a space to meet the participants. Identified subjects included in the focus group discussion were 6 DLSU librarians facilitating information literacy IL session. All of the participants have experience being main facilitator and a co-facilitator. The participants were diverse like age, confidence in terms of technology, orientation, and confidence in handling IL sessions, composed of seasoned librarians and new librarians. Now, for the results and discussion, the respondents were asked to describe their thoughts when the library administrator expressed the need to develop a module specifically for online learning during the pandemic. And when they heard that library instruction will be delivered online, the majority of the respondents answered that they almost anticipated that online learning will more likely occur and they need to adapt to what is happening. This note in March of 2020 paper that even predating the COVID-19 situation, there was already a high adoption of technology and online tool usage in teaching, scholarship, and research collaborative activities across universities. Whereas the same with the LSU libraries, even pandemic, executing digital literacy is already evident on its services. We have diverse online technologies which we use in delivering service to the community. A few to mention, like Chat LoRa, Email LoRa, Text LoRa, synchronous and asynchronous online teaching IL session, how-tos video tutorials, off-campus access, off-site, on-site tutoring, face-to-face with RIA, and online reservation of platforms for spaces and reserving library collection and others. Though most of them agreed that they need to prepare for online learning, one respondent was more concerned if the librarians can handle all the information literacy sessions. She cited some consideration to take, such as, would all the librarians can, able, and have the willingness to teach library instruction online? Are they technologically wise? And would there be enough training before indulging the librarians in online teaching? These responses from the participants showed that the advent of the pandemic caught many librarians by surprise, especially in managing library instruction online. The sudden change in the landscape of teaching brought anxiety to many librarians as they need to adapt quickly to the needs of the time, and explained that from the learner's point of view, rather, the sudden shift to this online learning reality could be described as a forced migration to online learning design and pedagogy as cited by Marsato studies in 2020. Meaning, whereas before, on-campus provisions of learning and teaching experiences would be, in most cases, just enhanced or supplemented by off-site online provision with the effects of COVID-19, there has been a complete and involuntary shift, reversing priorities and the positioning of online provision in universities cited in Matsuko's study in 2020. When asked about their hesitation or fears about going online, the majority of the respondents mentioned the following: fear of the acceptance of the students to the new mode of teaching, fear of how to engage to a student, fear to disconnect during online classes, and fear of getting negative feedbacks from the students. Equipment and skills that they needed to provide library instruction to the students. And to further improve student engagement as well as the way the librarians facilitate learning, the majority of the respondents stated that the librarians need to consider the language being used by the students, make the instruction more interesting, close coordination with the class officers to highlight the objectives of the lessons, and make their classmates participate. Games with prizes, continue the good collaboration with the faculty, and give more training on classroom management for the librarians. The finding of the study reinforced the proposition of Go and Wang in 2021 that even though we are under different circumstances, the importance of online teaching must be highlighted with challenges the libraries to change their approach from passive adaptation to active exploration to teach online more effectively and innovatively. On the question about the support given by the library administrators and their initiatives during the adjustment stage in preparation for online teaching, all the respondents affirm that the library administrators are very supportive in providing the needs and requests of the librarians that will handle online instruction. The respondent also mentioned that they appreciated the efforts of the Information Literacy Committee tasked by the library administrators to create a module and train the librarians before they set sail in teaching. These findings of the study provides insight on how important to the librarians to do the legwork, the support they get from their library administrators. The librarians felt that they were not just being sent to battles without giving them the proper and enough preparation and tools that they need to use before facing the students online. The positive remarks from the respondent also showed that despite the short notice preparations, the library administrators exhausted all the means and support that they can give to their fellow librarians. This is also in line with the Skype study in 2021 that through the help of the Information Literacy Committee and leadership team, they were able to address the challenge of delivering library instruction online by developing strategies such as planning, implementation, review, and evaluation. And after receiving the support, the librarians are more confident with their teaching and instructional skills. The findings of this study indicate that though librarians were able to adjust to the current setup and were able to deliver online instruction, they will feel the need to upskill themselves, evaluate the modules being used, and improve the collaboration with the faculty and students so that a real learning experience takes place. Innovation and being updated on the tools and language used by the student is also an integral part of having effective online library instruction. Furthermore, it is also support Lobo and Duri study in 2021 who promote webinars about online teaching and workshop on managing information literacy session online are indispensable. It is beneficial to the education sector and should be continued even after recuperating from the pandemic to train other librarians to possess adequate digital literacy skills and embrace web-based techniques to ensure the continuity of the process of teaching and learning. As librarians scale the steep precipice of the pandemic while balancing the need to quickly learn how they can teach online and the goal to still deliver effective library instruction, the growing anxiety and stress among librarians are very evident. From thinking about their safety and loved ones also to adapting to a work-from-home setup, up to the ability to acquire swiftly the new mode of delivery of instruction. Librarians tend to be more flexible to remain relevant and still be able to contribute to the educational institution in general and the learning of the student in particular. In conclusion, the responses from the participants echoed the lack of preparation of many educational institutions in distant learning and the lack of readiness of the librarians when faced with this kind of situation. However, it was also resonated that academic librarians are more adaptable and agile when needed. The study found out that even in a short time, many librarians were able to acquire the necessary skills to develop the modules, train fellow librarians, and efficiently deliver library instruction to the academic community. The findings of the study also shed light on the hesitation and fears of librarians that hound them before and during online library instruction. Resiliency and adaptiveness to change of librarians are key factors in how participants overcome challenges in online teaching. Despite hesitation at first due to changes brought by the pandemic, being gritty, trying new things with the support system coming from the administrators, including colleagues, is a big leap to survive and still be relevant in the field. Relevancy connects to continuous learning, while learning new things requires grit and openness. The mode of teaching may be changed, but it's still, when they cannot change learning, it is an infinite process. And here are our references. Good day, and thank you all for listening to our presentation.